Svetlana, the firefly in the room.
Hello plant friends and welcome back to my channel. You probably can tell by the title, but today we're doing some repottings. And not simple casual repottings because I have some plants that I have never had in my life before, so this should be interesting. And what's the worst part, that I'm running out of pots and I had no time to buy some, beautiful ceramic pots, so I'll work with what I have. But I still had pretty decent variety to choose from at my home. So today I will repot 5 plants, and 3 of them you can see on this table. Actually, this is my beautiful and gorgeous Alocasia cuprea. I love this baby. And guys, I thought, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do with this baby, but the new leaves is there is a little bit of troubles after the shipping, but all in all this plant looks happy. It's pushing out new leaves and I'm so excited about it. Then I also have this beautiful Philodendron Birkin, and it's not doing as happy as it could. I think the main problem might be that it just recently have been shipped to me, so there's a little bit of stress for this plant, but all in all it also grows new leaves and it shows to me that I am pretty okay, so I am a little bit worrying, should I repot plants that are putting out new growth or not, but I need to do it sooner or later. So if we're going to lose one leaf but the plant will stay healthy, I think it's worth it, right? Then I will repot my beautiful Hoya cuttings because they've been for a while in this vase and it's totally time for them to be repotted because they doubled in size. So I've been putting this thing out, but it's time. Also, I have my beautiful Calathea, and as you can tell, it had a little bit of struggles, but all in all, guys, I was forgetting to water this plant at least twice a month, and it's doing great, and it's Calathea and it's alive. Wow. Just wow. So if you really want Calatheas but you're such a bad waterer, you do it too often or too rare, this is the one for you to try and experiment, because it's very forgiving and I'm really happy about it. So I'll repot it because right now it's in this cute dog pot, right? But if you look closer to the roots, it's time, guys. So I'll repot this beautiful Calathea, and last but not least, I will also repot a beautiful, it's heavy, Heeelllllooooo. So I already have a pot for it, and it's time as well because there are many roots coming out of the bottom, so we will do this as well. So here are 5 plants that I'm going to repot. So without further ado, let's just do it, right? And actually, guys, Ariel, one of my subscribers, wrote me a direct message in my Instagram and said that she would love to hear more about my language story. I know 4 languages and 3.5, if I could say so. So she actually wants to learn more languages as well, and she would like to know how my journey started and how I just film English video not being English lady. That makes sense. So while reporting, I will tell you all the story of how all of 4 languages came to my life and how I learned to talk to you in English, because it wasn't normal for me. So let's start. So probably I will start with the smallest one and grow, to bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, I have some cactus mix in here already. Then I want to add a little bit more pebbles. These are clay pebbles from Repot. As you can tell, I am using them. It's a very nice gift. I have more actually, and I have a lot of soil. This one is cactus soil, and you would say, wait, why are you taking cactus soil to repot Alocasia, for example, or Calathea or Philodendron? Are you out of your mind? But no, I'm not. To be honest, from the years of my experience with plants, I noticed that I'm still an overwaterer, and I just don't want to risk my plants because of who I am and what I am and why I am, and you know. So cactus soil works for me, guys, because it dries out much quicker than the simple green leaf mixes, right? So for example, for ferns or calatheas, these mixes are holding the moisture, and when I'm overwater, it doesn't dry out at all because I water it once again and then once again. So my tip, if you're on overwater and you have some perky plants like these and you don't want to risk and have, you know, at least some kind of option to be a little bit more good with watering, buy cactus soil. I mean, it works for all of my plants. All of the plants you can see in my videos, they're all in cactus mixes. So that works. Just a small tiny tip. And by the way, before we started, do you see this beauty? This is a bromelia that I actually rescued I think over a month ago. So it was dumped in the next to the trash containers. It was filled with ants, and I took it home, I took care of it, I got rid of the ants, and guys, what? Look at it. It was a month and it's already gifting me with such a beautiful bloom. I cannot stop looking at it because it's so weird. So I just wanted to put it out here so you all could enjoy this view. Okay, so for my Hoya, I have a terracotta pot with a hole. I'll put something inside of it so not too much soil will spill. Okay, let's see in the roots of this Hoya. Uh-oh, it's stuck. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, this is much more than I expected. Look at this root ball, guys. It's been for a while. Oh my gosh. Okay, I won't be able to put them aside one from each other to separate them, but I mean, I can pot them the way they are right now because, oh my gosh, this looks insane. I love it. Okay, so let's start to talk about my languages. So if you don't know yet, I am Russian, but I was born and raised in Lithuania, Eastern Europe. I've never ever been in Russia, and it's, you know, I love my family, I love my traditions and my relatives, but I'm just, you know, that kind of girl that, I don't know, not as patriotic about being Russian because I born and grew all my life in Lithuania, so I feel more like Lithuanian, you know. So funny story, when I was a kid I could only speak Russian because my parents, my relatives, everybody would speak with me only in Russian, and we lived in Lithuania. And I remember it was all normal and casual, you know, but I lived in a very small town, and that small town had only one Russian kindergarten, and it went closed a year before I needed to go to school. So for 1 year I had to go somewhere, and there was no Russian kindergartens around. So my parents had to put me in Lithuanian kindergarten. And I remember, guys, I still remember my first day in this kindergarten. I remember kids are coming to me and talking something, and I have no flipping idea what are they saying. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like, aliens. I mean, hands down, I thought that everybody in this kindergarten were aliens because I had no idea what they were talking. I have no idea what they were saying, and they looked at me like, what is wrong with you? Why you are not speaking with us? I mean, so we all were pretty much confused. But it took me a couple months and I started to speak Lithuanian because I had no choice, you know, because if I wanted to talk to somebody, if I wanted to have a normal, you know, childhood in kindergarten, I had to start speaking Lithuanian. In my favor, there was another girl who could speak in Russian and Lithuanian, so I think she was the one who taught me the most of Lithuanian language from the very start. Okay, Hoya is potted up. I think it's very cute in this pot, right? Now what I will do, I will water it after filming this video, but a little bit later because we have many more repotting. So, just like I said, I started to go to Lithuanian kindergarten. I started to speak Lithuanian, and that's when my parents also started to speak with me in Lithuanian, because they knew that from now on I'll probably go to Lithuanian school, because there was as well only one Russian school and they had no idea for how long it will be open. So, you know, they did not want to take a risk, and I went to Lithuanian school. So that's how year by year I started to speak Lithuanian. And to be honest, don't want, you know, to be cocky, but I was the best student in Lithuanian lessons. I mean, from all the Lithuanians, I was the one who was, you know, pumped to learn grammatics. I just felt like I will need it, because I remember the feeling, how it felt to not know what others are speaking to you, the feeling to feel, you know, you have when you write so silly in Lithuanian and everybody else is looking at you like, what the heck, you know? I was a nerd. So I was learning at home, and I was one of the best students in my school, even though I was Russian, in between Lithuanians. So that was cool. So that's how I learned Lithuanian. And I think if you will go to any country that is not speaking your language, either you want it or either you don't, you will have to learn at least something, you know? So that's how we start to repot my philodendron. Okay. So I will use the same soil that was inside, because I see there's a lot of stuff inside, a lot of pebbles. In about 4th grade, I think, I started English lessons, because we had to. I mean, we had to choose between German or English, and my parents thought that maybe English will be a better choice. I mean, oh wow, there are 3 philodendrons, guys. Look at these babies. Oh my gosh. Okay, I had no idea there were 3. I thought there were only 2. Okay, I love surprises like that. So in 4th grade, I started to be learning English, and I was bad, guys. I was so bad at it. I remember other kids started to learn it so much quicker than I, because it was 3rd language for me, when for them it was only 2nd one, so you know, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, even today, sometimes I think in 3 languages at once, so I could say a 1 sentence with 3 languages for you guys. And my parents are always laughing, because sometimes I even make 1 word half Lithuanian and half Russian. So yeah. So that's how I started to learn English, but I wasn't a big fan. I was more into Lithuanian because I was living in Lithuania, and I felt like that's the one I'm going to need in my life, you know, as a kid. So I did not, you know, looked very serious at it until we went into 5th grade, I think. And then my teacher changed of English, and it was a tough lady, guys. It was a really tough lady who used to wear white pants with red tongues. It still confuses me, because she was such a serious lady, but you know, for everybody it's own, you know. So that's when I started to look into English very seriously, and I started to learn more, because I did not want it to, you know, to f with her. Because she, I mean, dang. So anyway, that's how I started to learn English. And in Lithuania, actually, it's normal if you know at least 3 languages. I mean, it's weird if you don't. And maybe for those who are, for example, from United States or UK, right? For you, it's probably weird. Why would you need another language, right? But for us, it was, you know, it's either you want it, either you don't, but you have to know. So that's how I started my English journey. Okay, philodendron is all potted up. I think this pot is just perfect for this philodendron, right? Right? Look at it. What a combo. I love it. Love it. Okay. So then at 11th grade, I think I met my boyfriend, my current boyfriend, Agnus. And his parents were living in United Kingdom at that time. Well, they're still living there. And he knew that he wants to go to them to work a little bit, because in Lithuania was a little bit tough situation, and we needed money, guys. I knew that if I want to study, I need money, and I did not have that money. So we decided that after I will graduate, we both will go to England and work there for at least 1 year to, to collect money for our studies. And that's what we did. And I remember it was so weird because we lived in a household with 5 people. I mean, my boyfriend, me, boyfriend's sister, and his parents, right? And there were times, when there's something with health issues, I needed to go to doctor, or you needed to go to bank, and etc. And I was the one who was always doing the speaking because my boyfriend knew that I was a nerd, and he for some reason thought that I should be the one who need to speak, to the people. And you have no idea how it is scary to talk to British people and just see that disappointment in their eyes when they see that, oh my gosh, another immigrant, wow. Because we lived in pretty small city in England, in Newark, and there were a lot of immigrants, and not all of them were pretty nice people. So, most of British people thought of us of like, not good. They just put it that way. So that's how I started to speak English. Once again, when I did not want it, to be honest, too much, because I was so afraid to talk to the bank people, about serious stuff like bank accounts and, insurances and stuff, when I have at least only half idea of what they are saying to me. Because, guys, we were living in a small city that had strong accent. And just imagine, you are not the best in speaking English, and then there's an accent. It just makes so much difficult, everything. So I lived in England for, I think, about 6 or 7 months, and I was working in a bakery, in a factory, and I would live there a little bit longer, but I had a big spine trauma, so I needed to go back to Lithuania to doctors. So, funny story, all of the money that I collected through these months went to my healthcare. So once again, I was left with hurting spine, I couldn't do too much physical activities, and I had no money. So yeah, so that was fun. So that's how I started to talk English. If you want to hear what helped me the most, movies. YouTube and movies, guys. I mean, I am pretty sure that you just can't go, to Lithuania, sit here and learn Lithuanian, obvious. So what will help you? Watch more movies, watch more YouTube channels, turn on the subtitles. Guys, this will help so much. I wasn't believing that, but after I kept watching videos about plants, with all other plant tubers, I mean, I just started to notice that I understand what they are speaking like 100%. So if you really, oh my gosh, look at those roots, beautiful. So if you really wanna know some kind of language, try to find series, for example, or TV shows, and even the ones that you know. I mean, you will know what is going on in this series, right? But you will hear totally different words, and that's what helped me the most, I think. I mean, living in that country that you want to learn the language and watching tons and tons of videos. So that would be my, biggest advice for learning languages. And actually, I did not say for you how I learned my 4th language. So my 4th language is Polish, and I am not the best at it. I'm not going to lie. Actually, it was a really long time ago when I needed to speak in Polish, so I'm a little bit rusty. And if you would ask me to speak right now, I mean, I would be a little bit, like, oh no. But I totally understand what Polish people are saying. I used to go to camps in Poland when I was a kid with school. Actually, in Lithuania, there's a lot of Polish people as well, especially in Vilnius, where I live, because it used to be, well, many years ago, the Poland would affect our country a lot. So anyway, that's how I started to learn Polish, because a lot of my parent friends were Polish people. So most of the time, my both parents speaks Polish perfectly. And most of the time when we had, guests in our home, most of them would talk Polish, and my best friend when I was a kid was a Polish guy named Grzegorz. We were the best buddies ever. I mean, I remember when we were sitting, he is actually younger than me in about like 5 years maybe, but he was my best friend, and we thought that when we will grow up, we'll get married, have 3 kids, and live in greenhouse on a hill. Now he's married and have another wife and already have a kid. So, you know, life is funny sometimes. But that's how I learned a little bit of Polish. And actually, when I was living in England, there were a lot of Polish people, like a lot, many more than Lithuanians. So, I mean, if you would work in the factory where I worked, like 80% of the people would talk Polish. So when I was living there, when I was outside of my work, I would learn English, and I was at my work, I would learn Polish, because the Polish people are pretty, tough. When you're working, somewhere, and comes Polish lady or a guy and starts speaking to you in Polish, and you would say, sorry, my Polish isn't best, let's speak in English. They won't get a shit. They will keep on talking. If you will want, you'll understand. If you don't, it's your problem. So, so that was fun. Okay. I hope I'm not looking in here like a racist, because I love everybody, and just like I said, my best friend was Polish, my favorite country is England, and I mean, I am Russian and I love my relatives and my family and my traditions, so I'm a little mix, Please don't judge. Don't leave mad comments, okay? Okay, now Calathea. Oh, didn't show you the Alocasia. So this is the Alocasia Cuprea. I just thought that the black pot for a black plant will look awesome, and I did not want to pot it in a terracotta pot because it will tend to dry a little bit more fast, and I think that this Alocasia needs a little bit more moisture, right? So that's why I thought it will be perfect for it just to be in the pot of plastic. Okay, almost last one, right? Another plastic pot for Calathea, because once again, just like I said, sometimes I forget to water it. I know, shame, I know. Ooh, nice. Look at that root system, guys. Definitely time to be repotted. Actually, guys, probably I'm talking too much a little bit in this video, right? Because when I will edit it, there will be no time to cut off any minutes, and it's already half an hour. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys, if that is annoying. Actually, right now I'm starting to learn a little bit of Spanish, because this language is so beautiful for me. And when I was a kid, I remember I used to watch telenovelas after school, and I would learn in the same way Spanish. It's your culpa. Perdóname, te amo. No, it's your culpa. So simple phrases like that would stuck in my head, and just, sometimes by accident I would start speak Spanish. But, just couple words, but... Okay. So here is a Calathea. It's in simple, plain plastic pot, but I will put it in some kind of, ceramic pot inside, so it won't be seen, but it will do the work, right? A lot of drainage holes, and let's hope it will be happy. It's really hot in here. Okay, I will use a leaf from the same plant to hide the hole, because it has one, right? And this one is a very deep pot. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful, right? And it will look perfect with this deep, dark, greenish, burgundish leaves and this deep, dark green, right? So, and the shape of it looks great in this pot. So, I'm really excited. Okay, that's a lot of soil. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit nervous if that won't be too much, if that pot won't be too deep. That's what she said. Let's put it out. Okay, so it was growing completely in coconut coir. So I'll obviously mix that in the soil mix. I won't put the soil till the very top, so you know the plant itself will be a little bit lower in the pot, so I won't need to use all of the height of it, and it won't be that much space for water to hold and, you know, to keep all this moisture and, you know, to rot my plant. Because that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. And it's done! Finally! Woohoo! I will leave you alone! After all of these minutes, it's done. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope it was entertaining and at least interesting. I mean, let me know in the comment section down below, do you like to hear more about me, or does this channel needs to stay only about plants? Wait for an update, obviously, guys. As always, I will give you an update of all of my plants, how are they doing, what is going on, what's the tea. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to comment, and till the next time, bye.